What's going on, everyone? It is Tim here from Advanced Agent Marketing here with Giancarlo Coppola, right?
Yes.
We got it right? Perfect. He's one of our platinum agents that has been absolutely killing it over the last few weeks. He started tracking all of his numbers on May the 8th. And since then, actually, tell you what, I'm going to let him introduce himself and then we'll get into the numbers a little bit later in the video. But not only writing a ton of AP, but he's actually making money, which is the most important part. So, Giancarlo, welcome to the channel. Kind of give us a little background on how you got into the business and, a little bit of background on yourself.
Hello, everyone. So I have been in insurance since October of 2021.
Okay.
Started at a captive agency,
Ooh.
basically where we got free leads.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And I'm sure we all know how that goes.
Yep.
And I was kind of doing well there, but I knew I had the potential to be able to do more and help more people. And that's where I kind of transitioned in December of 2022 to being a broker, working with different carriers, having my contract be so high, being able to help all these families, not send them away, and just being in control of my business
Sure.
and not someone else's business.
Okay.
I could do what I want when I want it. I don't have someone breathing down my neck telling me I need to be in this meeting, need to be in that meeting. You know, this is my business. So just because I have to buy leads, it doesn't bother me because I'm investing into myself.
100%. So it sounds like you kind of went from more of like an employee style model to now being your own boss, basically.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. And so when did you, I know you got into the business October 2021. When did you make the switch over to not being captive?
The end of December of 2022.
Gotcha. So like just the beginning of 2023, like brand new into being your own boss, basically.
Yes.
Past 5 months.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. And so what were you doing in AP prior to joining the program? Did you, because you already had some experience selling insurance, did you like jump in and you were killing it right off of the bat, or like how did things kind of go for you?
So I was struggling a little bit as far
Okay.
as, I came from the other company where everything was over Zoom.
Yep.
And now everything's telesales. So I kind of struggled to do that whole one call close or even book appointments because it's kind of hard to book a phone call. You can't really schedule a phone call.
Yeah.
So
You're crazy.
it's easier to schedule a Zoom call than a phone call.
Yep.
And I was kind of getting a little discouraged. I was buying leads from my CRM. I was also going to outside vendors. And then I found you guys. And basically, I was like, I know I can do this. I work hard. I know I don't need to be spending all this money on leads when I could be doing this for half of the work
Yep.
and helping more people.
So you found us, I think I remember you reaching out in like March, was
Yes.
it?
So I did reach out. It was March. I took the course. I put up a picture ad. I actually sold 2 policies off of that.
Yep.
Then I got sick and I turned them off. And then after I was better, I spoke to Julian. I was like, okay, let's get this platinum set up. I was
Yep.
like, I want to do this. So, but it wasn't until this month, May 8th, that it really finally kind of hit me to just focus on the Facebook leads. I was focusing on too many different vendors and not just the Facebook leads. Like when they
Yeah.
were coming in, I wasn't calling them right away. I was focusing on other leads and I just had my hand in too many things.
When you were writing the months before, like how much AP would you do monthly or weekly? Where were you kind of sitting at?
I'm finding also with like these Facebook leads, they are older people, but they're kind of more healthier than the people I was dealing with. So I was kind of writing I was writing a lot of policies, but there were a lot of guaranteed issue policies. So
Mm,
I wasn't making that much money off of that,
right.
which killed me because I was writing so much and I was getting like pennies
Yeah.
and spending more money and spending a lot of money on these leads.
Sure.
So
100%.
roughly around, I would say around 10,000 AP monthly.
Per month. Okay. So like 2,500 a week.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And so let's kind of jump into the numbers since May 8th. This is not even a full month. It's about, well, what would that be? 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
3 weeks. Yeah. Gosh, May's gone by fast. But so like basically 3 weeks. Jump into the AP and then we'll talk about the profit. I will kind of preface for everyone that's watching, the profit is based off of his overall comp. So like one carrier he might have 100, another carrier might have 90. So it doesn't really factor in that. So it could be a little bit like slightly lower or slightly more on the profit, but it's kind of like a rough estimate. But kind of jump into your AP and then also how much you've made, because the biggest thing is actually what you're taking home, not what you're writing. I've seen
Correct.
people that write 100 a month, 100K a month, and they take home like 4 or 5 grand. It's crazy.
Correct. Yes, which is insane. I wrote since May 8th, 19,668 in
Yep.
AP, almost 20,000.
Yep.
And I profited 18,477. So almost 19,000.
Yeah. And your only real expense is the leads.
Yes.
That's insane. What's your total lead spend? I'm curious.
Only $1,191.
So you spend like $300 a week.
Yeah.
Jeez, dude.
Not that bad.
Imagine if you were spending like $1,000 a week. It would be.
Well, that's how much I was spending.
Yeah.
Like, this is no. I was like, I can't be doing this every week.
I'm curious for everyone that's kind of watching in the audience that maybe they're writing more AP than you, or maybe they're writing around the same or less. Like, what has been the biggest difference maker for you? Because I know when we first started with the Facebook leads, you were working a bunch of other lead sources. What do you think it's just like a number tracking thing, so you can see like how much you're actually writing is, or how much you're actually calling, to kind of like make it more trying to think of the right way to put this, but like psychologically it's easier to keep making dials when you know how much you're making, right, when you're tracking it? Or
I
think it's just like a lead quality thing, or like what is the biggest shift that has happened for you to allow you to see the success?
I think tracking the numbers helps. I'm good at tracking, just not the best at tracking. So when you met with me, I was like, okay, you need to start doing this. I need to make this work. I need to
Yeah.
track my numbers. I need to just make this my time.
Yeah.
Devote all my time to this and nothing else. These are very high quality leads. Not to say, listen, no lead is perfect, because these people are on Facebook all day clicking on different things. So they could be clicking on your ad and they could be clicking on someone else's ad. You can get to them as soon as someone sold them. That's why the best time to do it is when as soon as they fill it out.
Exactly.
They're still looking, and it's not like your leads are recycled, but because they're your own leads, it's just a matter of these people are just on Facebook scrolling all day looking for some help.
So biggest thing is, you said the lead quality is probably better than the CRM leads you're working. The
Yes.
number tracking has been huge. How many dials are you making per? Oh, go ahead.
You're also in control of what the ad says. You know what it looks like. It says, it doesn't say anything about free this, free that, this, that.
Yeah.
So you're in control. You're basically in control of your own business. As
Yep.
much as you were in control of it before, now you're more in control of it.
Yeah, 100%. How many? I'm going to jump into the lead cost too, because we've actually had some incredible lead costs on your account. But like, how many dials are you making per day to make? Obviously, profit's a rough estimate. This is like the first month, so there could be chargebacks that come later. So just to be safe, let's say you made 10 grand in the last 3 weeks, just super conservative. How many dials a day are you like actually doing to hit that number?
So I would make at least 100 or more.
100 or more.
is to try 200. I haven't gotten there yet,
Okay.
but I've had my days where I've spoken to a lot of people. So, and then sometimes I just need to take a break.
Yeah, sure.
So, but I don't really mind dialing. It's actually kind of refreshing, to dial, just sit down, dial. I know, as crazy as that sounds,
Yeah.
but
Well, the process.
yeah, I mean, if I make about 150 dials a day, I'm very satisfied.
Yeah.
You
How
know,
long does that usually take?
a bad day for me would be about 50 dials.
Okay. How long does like $150 usually take you? Obviously, like if people answer the phone, it takes longer, but just like raw output of time.
If there's no one answering and a few people answer, a few people hang up, no presentations, no nothing,
Yeah.
I can make about 100 dials in an hour.
Okay. $100 in an hour. Wow. So like $150, like how long would you say that you're actually doing cold calls per day? Because like I feel like for a lot of people, their biggest barrier is like, hey, I just don't want to call people.
Yeah.
But like for you to be close to 20K AP in 3 weeks, you're making $150 a day. How much time are you actually spending on that? Because it doesn't sound like it's a crazy amount of time at all.
It's less time than I was working before. I drained myself before to the point where I was like, I needed a break. So that's
Yeah.
why I was like, this can help me so much. You know,
Uh,
I dial from 9 to 11 in the morning and then 3 or 8 or 9. Now, the thing is, I do get distracted.
Sure.
Sometimes I'm not just focusing on just dialing. I'm
Yeah.
having fun with my team, so I
Sure.
can get a little distracted. That's why my dials per day are not so high,
Yeah.
but I also want to be able to have fun while I'm doing this.
Yeah. 100%.
So, but if you sit there and there's nobody around you, just stare at the computer and dial, you
Yeah.
could literally make 300 dials a day by yourself.
Easily. That's like 3 or 4 hours of dialing
Yeah.
if I'm picking up. Yeah. 100%. If you do like 8 hours of like, granted, this is probably not something you would want to do every day, but if you did 8 hours of just like sitting down and dialing, you could bust out like 600 plus
Yeah.
for sure. And we have an agent that's actually, she just joined the program that's doing that. So I'm excited to see the results that she's getting at $600 a day. Like,
I personally, not that I'm not saying I can't. It's just
yeah,
like, it's a
you don't
lot.
want to.
It's a
Yeah,
lot.
I get it. I probably wouldn't want to make $600 every day, but if you're trying to maximize income and output, then that would definitely be
Of
a
course.
good thing to do. Well, cool. So I pulled up your lead cost here, and I'm seeing like average over the past 3 weeks, you've been at about $5 a lead.
Yeah.
So that's been great. I guess one last kind of question to go over before we cut the interview off, like for anyone that's watching this that is seeing your success, wants to be where you're at, what are like the three biggest tips, the three biggest pieces of advice that you would give them on what took you from, March when you reached out to us to now coming into June, profiting close to 20 grand in a month?
So my biggest advice is number one, stick to one thing. Keep your hand in one thing.
Yeah.
Number two, have patience. You know, these Facebook leads are amazing, but you can't expect them to work as soon as you turn them on.
Yeah.
You need to give them a little bit, not even a week, maybe 2 weeks for them to start actually working and giving you the best cost per result.
Sure.
And then three, just make sure you track your numbers, track how many dials you make a day, and just go over that. Everybody wants you to succeed. So you just have to want it yourself, basically. You
Yeah.
just don't blame other people for the work that you're not doing.
I like that. That's good.
Because
I like that.
if you want help, you need to put in the work. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying," and then somebody asks you what your numbers are and you can't tell them. You're not really trying. You're making excuses that you're trying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge. I always say, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I'll say, if you if whenever someone asks me like, oh, people aren't picking up the phone, the first thing I ask is like, what's your pickup rate? Because I've been there, and like I've been the guy that says everyone's charging back, but the question my upline should have asked me is what percentage of people are charging back?
Yeah.
Because are you operating on a feeling or a number? But you can only operate your business on numbers. That's the only way it works. I might get a forehead tattoo that says track your numbers. So I appreciate you saying number three 100%.
Yes.
If anyone is watching this video and is wondering where they can find out more about what you're doing, maybe working with you on your team, where can they reach out?
They can reach out to me on my Instagram. It's my first dot my last name with an A at the end.
Okay,
Or my Facebook is just my first and my last name.
perfect, awesome. Well,
So,
for everyone that's watching this, well, first of all, thank you, Giancarlo, for coming on here and you
it was a
telling
pleasure.
everyone. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for telling everyone about your experience, and it's been awesome to watch you over the last few weeks. You've just been killing it. It's like I check my phone and like my phone's buzzing because you're posting in the Slack channel about selling another policy. So always good to see. But if anyone's watching this and wants to learn how they can become an agent like Giancarlo and join our program, you can click the link down below this video that says book a call. Right now, we're working with agents that are doing between 3.5 to 5K a week and helping them get to the next level to scale their business and ultimately increase their profits. Because if you're writing 20K, but you're only making two, you should
Yes.
probably talk to us. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Thank you, Tim.